Hi PE 570, this is my response video for week 3 on evaluating your school. So the first question is, where is your school in compliance with these administrative tasks and how do you know? In terms of the administrative tasks in being compliant, I think that in terms of Title IX, I think that we're compliant because each sport has both a men and a women's team, and so there isn't more dominance in male sports. So I know that the gender equity is there. In terms of transportation, at Palomar College, we all use the same school vehicles or vans that are branded with Palomar College, and all the teams use them. So we, depending on the season and the schedule, we just cycle through those depending on when they're needed, which is why it's so important for each team to submit their schedules ahead of time so that administration can schedule those vehicles accordingly and make sure that everyone has mode of transportation to away games and away tournaments. So that kind of keeps it fair in terms of transportation. Officials, it just depends on the sport. I think that within each sport, there's different officiating, but within the sport, for me as a water polo coach, we have the same officials for both the men and the women. Our games are back to back, so they just stick around and ref 2 games, and so we have the same refs. So I think that we're compliant in that sense. In the areas that I would think that we are not compliant in, I would say is budgeting. And the reason I say think is because I don't really know. All I know is that swimming and water polo or aquatics are in our program is at the lower end of the totem pole, and we are given zero budget. We're literally given nothing. We have to fundraise everything, and it's frustrating, but at the same time, I don't really know if other sports get a budget or if everyone else is in the same boat as we are. I don't really know that, but there's hearsay among coaches and, things that you hear. And so I think a lot of people don't want to talk about money. They don't want to talk about who's getting a budget and who's not, because then it's not fair, or, it might get taken away. I don't know. So it's a very sensitive subject, much like a salary or pay. Like nobody wants to talk about that. No one wants to ask about it. So it's not really talked about. And I think, honestly, a lot more institutions should be transparent about the budget and where money is going and who it's going to. And I think that that would be one step to resolve the issue among frustration in coaches when it comes to money and budgets. I just know that when I played for Palomar, which was a long time ago, we didn't have to pay for our suits or caps or gear or anything. I mean, the school paid for that. So now, asking for money from my players and fundraising is something that every team does, but just doesn't seem right. So that's one area I think that we're not in compliance in. Other than that, I think that we're good. A concern that I have is our athletic director retired last month, so we are without an athletic director. Our department chair has stepped up, and that's been really helpful, but you can imagine the stress in the athletic department without an AD. So they're hoping, crossing their fingers, that they'll fill the spot by December, which is still a few months away. So it's a concern of mine, but we learned about the responsibilities and the role of administration and athletic directors. And I think with that knowledge, it will help me personally just be a supportive coach and help in any way that I can during this time. So that is my response video. Thank you for listening, and I can't wait to hear from all of you.